If you're curious to find out how I go road testing the Zeta Impero tyres, check out this video. I'm quite excited for this video today because I'm on my way home to go and collect my Zeta Impero tyres, where I'm then going to take them to a tyre shop, get them installed on my Land Rover Discovery Sport and do some road tests on them. So the reason why I'm excited is because the existing tyres on this car are actually getting pretty dangerous and very noisy. You probably can't tell on the microphone because I'm wearing a personal microphone, but the road noise is actually getting really loud from these old tyres, and that's because they're starting to hit their legal wear markers. So once I've got the tyres on the car, we're going to get back out on the road. I'll do some urban driving and I'll do some highway driving, and then if I can find a gravel track, we'll go down a gravel track as well, and we'll just be testing for road noise and grip mainly, and then I'll take a look at the tyres on the car. Okay, so I've now just pulled away from the tyre shop where I've had my new Zeta Impero tyres fitted to my Land Rover Discovery Sport, and I thought I'd share a few of the comments that the guys in the tyre shop actually made. So first off, they remarked on the quality of the tyres, saying how well they was actually made and that they was really impressed with them, especially as it wasn't a brand that they actually stocked in their store. They had heard of them before, but they hadn't actually stocked them in their store. So the other thing that they did mention as well, and this is an interesting fact, is that each of the wheels on this car had quite a lot of weights on there, where the previous tyres must have been quite well out of balance. However, with the new Zeta Impero tyres being put on, two of the wheels didn't even need balancing weights to be put on there, so they completely cleaned the weights off and they were perfectly in balance. So they said that's really rare, so that's a really good show of quality. So we're now just driving along the road, and I can already hear that they're a lot quieter than my previous tyres. Now, like I did say, the previous tyres were like worn down, and they were worn down to those legal wear markers which I showed in my first video. So I'll probably do about maybe 50-60 kilometers before I actually jump into the road test, just to let the suspension and everything else settle on the car, and just to get used to the new tyres and let them bed in a little bit. Before we go ahead and start doing the road test, I just wanted to show you what the tyres actually look like on the car. And I've done about 60 kilometers on these tyres since fitting them. Now, I didn't manage to get the road test done in the same day as fitting, as the skies opened up, but as you can see from today, we're really lucky with the weather, and I should get all of the road tests done today. So we're going to start off with our rural and urban roads. Now, this road actually leads to a roundabout and a junction where the old tyres used to skid quite a lot, so it'll be interesting to test these tyres in that same scenario on that roundabout and the junction as well. So we'll just go for a little bit of a drive. I'll just listen out for the tyres. I can already tell you now that the tyres are a lot quieter. There's a nice load of sort of windy roads up here as well, so we'll give it a test on the windy corners. So this country road actually goes for kilometres and kilometres, and it's just lovely winding corners. It's not the smoothest surface, but I do notice in these tyres it's a really smooth ride, and again, that road noise is relatively low as well. So absolute pleasure to drive on so far. So actually now driving on a brand new road, and the tyres are absolutely silent, can't hear them at all. You can definitely hear the engine noise over the tyres, which is different to how the old tyres were. And the reason I've taken you here is just because there's a whole load of roadworks here with some rough surface, which I'm going on to now. And they just feel so much smoother going over the bumps. Like normally on my old tyres, I would have got a load of road noise, and the steering would have pulled me all over the place as well. Hopefully you can see on the camera how rough the surface is. Okay, so we're just about approaching the roundabout where I've lost grip quite a few occasions. I'll try and get into the roundabout a little bit hotter than you would usually, just to see if we have the same problem with grip, just depending on the traffic. So it looks like I'm going to be lucky. So here we go. I'm going to turn in hard right. Wow, that gripped incredibly well. I mean, you see how hot I actually went into that roundabout. So that was a really good test actually, because I know that with my old tyres I pretty much would have gone straight on into that barrier. So just a bit further up here, we've actually got that turn off as well, which is a bit of a chicane. It's sort of a sharp left and a right. Same thing goes really. On my old tyres, I used to slide quite a lot, whereas from my experience of these tyres so far, should be all good. Let's see how they go. So again, just approaching that sharp left-hand turn, which leads into a right hand, and I'll go in a little bit hotter than I should, but just purely to test the tyres. So here we go. Incredible grip. Okay, so we're just about to join the highway, and we'll take it up to about 110 kilometers an hour and see how we're going with road noise and also the comfort and smoothness of the ride. So we're currently cruising at about 110 kilometers an hour, and the tyres are absolutely silent. It's incredible on such a road surface as well. So they're really smooth, and I've actually worked out, I think it's made driving the Discovery Sport a bit more enjoyable in having a good set of tyres on there. Because the old tyres were so bad, I've really noticed the change to these Zeta Impero tyres. So really impressed so far. Like I say, stable and smooth at 110 kilometers an hour. So I'm now just turning off onto a gravel track, just because they are SUV tyres and you may need to use them to go camping or hiking or whatever you want. So you want to know what the grip's like just when on looser ground. So this is kind of, it's actually still in incredible grip, even when stopping. And that's the end of my road testing on the Zeta Impero tyre. I thought I'd throw a bit of grass and gravel track in there, just because they are an SUV tyre and they'll allow you to go camping and do some very minor off-road work. Just bearing in mind this is more of an SUV than a full 4x4 off-road car, as well as the tyres are meant primarily for highway and urban driving, with the minor bit of gravel driving here and there. In summary, here are my thoughts on the Zeta Impero tyre. So they're about 2/3 the cost of their competitors. They're really well made and engineered in Europe. They're extremely well balanced, and so far they haven't failed on any surface I've driven them on, which includes some wet weather driving as well. Now, just bear in mind the comments regarding the quality and the balance actually come directly from the tyre professionals who worked in the shop, who fitted the tyres, so don't just take my word for it. Now, the only other test that I would have liked to have done is how the tyres have performed over a period of time, which I will do in the future, so stay tuned on the channel for that video. Now, if you want to find out any more information about the Zeta Impero tyres or any more of the Zeta range, just go to their website on zeta-tyres.com.